Hey there, this is Martin, and we're back with another live stream. So this week we're obviously going to go through normal. So any questions on affiliate marketing or more niche, then feel free to ask those in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer. As well as that, we're also going to be doing a training session on SurferSEO and how we can use that to improve on our SEO content and rankings. So a couple of minutes just for more people to join into the chat and into the live stream, and then we will get on with the show. Hope everyone is all right and had a good weekend. Ready for the weekend. Let's have a look. So, like I say, if you've got any questions on affiliate marketing, more niche, then don't forget to put them in the comments and I'll get straight on them and answering. So we'll start in a minute or so. So it's good to see people coming in now. Feel free to pop in the comments who you are, where you're watching from, and yeah, we'll get started very, very soon. Main reason I wanted to do this is just for SurferSEO. It's a great tool, and it's going to help get your content to the next level and hopefully increase the chance of you actually ranking. Whenever I do site reviews for affiliates, I do actually run them through SurferSEO so that we can actually look on a page by page basis on what we can do to actually help with the rankings of that particular page. And we've had some really good results so far, good feedback. So it's definitely a tool that I'd recommend. And obviously, like I say, we're doing the more niche Q&A. So any questions, feel free to pop them in. So what we'll do is we'll get started now. So if you are watching the recorded version of this, then you might want to skip to about 3 minutes. I'm going to put a comment to that anyway. So yeah, let's get cracking. Obviously, if you've got any questions in the meantime, please do post them in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer those. So let's share my screen and hope that I share the right screen. Let's do this. Let's have a look. I've lost my button now. Where are we? It's the problem with having multiple screens and my monitoring in the way. Let's have a look. Share screen. This one. This one. Here we go. So hopefully you can see the SurferSEO page, but I don't think you can yet. There we go. Now you should be able to see the SurferSEO page. Yep, wicked. Cool. So SurferSEO, like I said, it's a way for you to create great content for your websites and improve the current content that you've got on there as well. And what it basically does is it correlates all the pages that are actually ranking, looks at all the different SEO ranking, the on-page SEO ranking factors, and it allows you to compare your site with all of the top ranked pages on that keyword so that you can see what you can implement on your content to increase the rank of that page based on the on-page SEO things. So what I would suggest is stick to the end of this video as I've got something to offer at the end. So stay with me throughout and you'll see what that is. So SurferSEO, it is a paid tool. It is definitely worth it. It's got a 7-day trial for $1. So if you know exactly, if you've done your keyword research and you've got 25, 30 keyword ideas, content ideas, then it's worth paying the $1 and literally just running every single keyword through Surfer and get all of that information, extract it all ready for when you write that content. But the other pricing is actually very reasonable. So this isn't affiliated in any way. I'm just recommending this because it's something that I do use almost on a daily basis on my own website. So it's definitely something that I'd recommend. Now, if you scroll to the bottom, they have a cheaper price here, which is the hobby one. And it basically gives you 5 queries a day. So you can submit 5 individual keywords per day, which, to be fair, is more than enough. If you're only writing one piece of content, once a week or a couple of times a week, then you'll have plenty of spare queries. So the hobby option is definitely a good choice. But like I said, if you got all your keywords and your content ready, just get the 7-day trial for $1, whack it all in there and get all of the information you need, and you'll be laughing. So let's access the logged in area. So this is the Serp Analyzer. So the 2 things that we're going to be looking at today is the Serp Analyzer and the Content Editor. And they do 2 different things. So the Content Editor is where you can actually create your content or paste your content in there, and it will compare it to the sites that are ranking for that keyword as you're writing it. So you can manually change it before you've actually posted the content to your website. The SERP Analyzer allows you to analyze the search results based on the particular keyword, and then that allows you to also audit your current content so you can make changes after it's been published. So the first thing we're going to look at is the SERP Analyzer, because I'm assuming that a lot of people already have content published and they might want to look into that. So I have one keyword, which is, let's pull up this article, which keyword? So we'll go for this keyword. So, oops, wrong page. So it's basically Captain America workout. And we're going to go for United States. Obviously, you can change the country depending on if you're focusing on a different country. And then we're just going to leave all the settings the same and hit run. And that's just going to now scrape the top results and basically review, get all of that data together so we can see how we are performing. So this takes a couple of minutes. I'm basically using a website, a temporary article on a website that I'm using for the UM training. So if you're new to affiliate marketing, that's once the affiliate marketing mastery course is done, that's the URL that we're going to be using. So this is nearly done. Can take a bit of time. It just depends on obviously the search volume. Refresh. So again, if you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer them. So this is the joys of working live. It takes a bit longer than you want it to. There we go, done. So we just click into the report and then we can ignore this graph. I don't tend to use this at all. This is what I look at. So these are the search results. So we can see all of these sites are ranking for this keyword. And along this side, we can see the content score. And this is a number between 1 and 100. So the higher the number, the better quality content and the relevance that this article has to the keyword. So it's all about relevance. The more relevance you got, typically the higher that you'll rank. But it's not just going to be about the relevance, it's going to be about the backlink profile as well, and the authority of the website that piece of content is on. So next to this, we have a domain score, and this is basically between 1 and 10, and it it's all about the authority of the site. So the stronger backlink profile that the site has, the higher this number has as well. Obviously, there's going to be other external factors, such as the backlinks that this individual page has, and not just the overall domain, which is why we can see other, lower scored ones ranking. And it's also, down to the quality of those backlinks as well, and how they're interpreted. So you can obviously see a 3 and a 3. So content score, you can see the top ones are pretty decent, and then they get slowly worse with a couple of decent ones here, but obviously a poorer backlink profile. So this is interesting for 2 reasons. Obviously, if we're going to look at creating content initially, then we can see what other people are already doing. We can look at important elements on their site. So we can look at what H tags they've got. And this would be potentially useful for if we're ready to write our piece of content and we want to know what keywords they're targeting in their H tags, how they've structured it, and basically what you can add to your own content to make it better. And then we have the audit. So what we'll do is get our URL and we will paste that here. And then we just hit compare. And again, this takes a couple of minutes, depending on the size of your website. And this website's only got this one page, so hopefully it won't take very long, and it doesn't. So content score is 63, so terrible. It's one that obviously just got, so it's not been optimized. And backlink score is 0 because it's a brand new website, so it's understandable that the backlink profile is 0. But what we want to do is hit audit. And what this would do is give us some key information. So the first thing that we'd look at is the words and the improvements that we can make here. So if we look at show details, this piece of content has just over 1,300 words, where it's recommending that we add 1,500 to 3,900 words, which is quite a lot. So it's basically saying that an average of the top positions would put us into this box here. So what I would potentially do then is go through all the sites that are ranking, look at their content, look what I can add to my content, and basically add more content to it to get it within this box. Now it could be down here, or it could be further to the top. I would personally go for more around about the 3,000 mark. So for this piece of content, if I'm wanting this to rank, then I would need to add about 1,500 words to get it to here, which is generally easy enough to do. Then it tells you obviously the words to add in your paragraphs, which this would happen as you add more words to your content. And then it also suggests adding more bolded content and then adding more H2s to H6s, which again, this would happen as you add more content to your piece of content, more words to your piece of content. As you'd have more subheadings naturally anyway. And then you'd basically just scroll down and go through additional improvements. So added more partial keywords to the content, adding obviously number of elements here, images, get more images in there. And there's currently no images, but that's obviously because it's an example. And everything else is fine. So you can see obviously time to first byte. If there's any improvements needed on that, then that needs to be done. Obviously load time, if any improvements on that, then that needs to be done. I'd expect it'd be amazing if every website was this quick, but unfortunately it's a blank site. So it's going to slow down as soon as I put plugins and whatnot on it. So once I've done the words and I've added the content in there, the next thing I always look at is the true density. And this is basically looking at phrases that other pages have that are ranking for that keyword and is recommending, and basically then goes through my piece of content and recommends what else I should add to that content, or potentially what I should remove if I've got too much of that keyword in there. So we can see here Chris Evans I've mentioned Chris Evans 11 times in that piece of content, and it's suggesting that I mention Chris Evans between 11 and 20 times. So the action is all good. So I don't need to touch that at all. Chris Evans workout, I've not mentioned that at all. And it's suggesting that I should mention it between 4 to 30 type content. So then therefore the action is to add that. So I might then go through that piece of content and find out where I could add happen again as we add more content would happen naturally. And now basically go through all of these that are 100% relevant. So we've got all of these that we could potentially add: pre-workout snack apple, Captain America's. All of these could be added because we look at the relevance. So these are basically saying it's 100% relevant to that piece of content. So all these are 100% relevant to the piece of content that I'm writing about, compared to the other sites that are ranking. Maybe not all of them, but I would go through them and look to see where we could add more words and more content and get some of these in there. So you got Winter Soldier, which looks so good, but we could maybe add a couple more. So that's really the power of the Serp Analyzer, is just the fact that you can analyze what those sites in the top positions are doing, what content they've got on there, what keywords they've got in their content, looking at the true density and mirroring that to some degree. So obviously making your piece of content better. Because the facts are, if a site is ranking in Google, then Google is rewarding that site by giving it rankings. It's doing something right. And so if we can replicate that to some degree, then in theory, our content will rank as well. The next thing, obviously, that I wanted to go through is the content editor. And that's very similar to the Serp Analyzer, except for we're actually creating the content from within SurferSEO. So if I put in the keyword here, so we'll just put in Captain. Oops, what we're doing. Try again. Put in the keyword here. And we then go content editor. And this will just take a little bit of time again, just to do that search. And nearly there. And let me just copy and paste all of this. So edit, select all, copy, and then we'll go back into here. Here we go. So here we have the content editor. So we've got the page title here. This is the main keyword. And then all we do is we just paste in the content, or you can write in the content from within here. So you can actually just go in and edit it and write the content as you would normally. You would update your headers, so you can add your headers in there, and then add in any images as there as well. So we might just go and put in an image and then put in the alt text. So Chris Evans workout, maybe. Like so. And as you can see, that's changed this score here just by adding that for once. And we can see here we've got current word count, the recommended word count, headings, recommended headings, images, and the recommended images there. So it gives us what we can see straight from the get-go. And then below here, we can look at headers. So we can see our headers here and suggested ones. So it's suggesting that we have a Chris Evans workout and a Chris Evans workout routine. So we could look at our headings and see potentially how we could add those in there. So let's have a look. So we have Captain America workout routine. We want to probably keep that in there somewhere. So what that might mean is that we just have to write some additional content. So this could be the Captain America workout routine gym days. And then we could have a Chris Evans, oops, workout, can't spell right now, workout routine non-gym days. And then we'll, oops, where's it gone? Typical. And then we'll highlight that, and then we'll put that into another subheading there. And oops, let's put routine. And then that way we get both of them there. So happy days. And then we'd add in that content. So let's just copy this for an example. And we'll pop that back in there, like so. And then we can go back to words here and click all, and then we can go through these and see where we can potentially add these additional terms. Now, you wouldn't add these additional terms until you've got to the word count that it's suggesting you get to. And the main reason behind that is because, you know, if you're sticking to this amount of word count and you're adding all these in there, you're just going to end up keyword stuffing the hell out of it, and it just won't make any sense whatsoever. So you want to just be adding these content, you know, these words to this piece of content, and then going through these. And then it's really simple. It's just a case of going through your content and adding this in there. So for example, we have Chris Evans diet. So I know we have the diet here, so we can just put with a goal such as bulking, the Chris Evans diet needs to get his food intake right, you know, along those lines. And that's obviously got us one there. And then we can just go through additional content and potentially add another one. So, you know, the types of foods that Chris Evans diet consisted of, well, and then that's gone green, and we've gone up to 71 there. So as you go through these, you will then start getting your score your score would start going up. Some of these you're not going to need to put in, some of them you just won't at all. You know, more onto these ones that are about individual workouts, you might not, because we're focusing on obviously Chris Evans and the Captain America relevancy. So I would personally focus on any of those that mention Chris Evans and the Captain America workout, and basically to see how that performs and how that changes. So that's what I would focus on. I wouldn't focus on any of the other stuff, to be honest, any of these down here. And then hopefully by the end of it, we'll have a much higher domain score. And then once you're happy and you feel it's the best piece of content that you can produce based on these scores, you literally just copy and paste this and put it into your WordPress post and add in all your images or your headers and all that good stuff, or your formatting, and then you're good to publish. And you've done what you can do to compare it to those that are already ranking in the search results. And that's it, really. That is Surfer SEO in kind of a whirlwind explanation. And hopefully, you know, you can see obviously the value in it. And that's it. So there we go. Any questions? Obviously, please feel free to post them in here. We don't have too many people on the live at the moment, so you know, it might finish a little bit early. So yeah, just, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to let me know. So we've been testing this this streaming solution for a bit now, and yeah, it seems to be going well. But I'm not sure if we'll go back to having webinars where we can actually get people to pre-register to them and then just upload the content to YouTube afterwards and then whatnot. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I don't think there's any questions. I did make an offer that there'll be something if you stick around to the end. And that is basically with SurferSEO. So we at Morniche pay for SurferSEO for me to do site audits for affiliates. So if you want a report doing, I'm happy to do 5 reports for each person. So drop me an email to, I'll put in my email address if you don't have it. There we go. So drop me an email with your search queries, or even with your content. You know, if you've got your content written and you've not published it yet, send that as an attachment. I'll run it through and I'll send you the results. I'll either do it as a video as well as an export of true density keywords as well. So I'm more than happy to do that. So whether you have a piece of content that you want me to run through before you've published it, send it. If you've already published a piece of content, send that to me as well in the URL, and I'll run it through the SurferSEO. But just make sure you include the full keyword that you're trying to target, just so that I can make sure that we get the right data for you. So yeah, make sure, oops, I've spelled my email wrong. How can I spell my email wrong? The amount of times I use my email, typical. There we go, obviously. So it's martin.slack@morniche.com. Martin@morniche.com will work as well. So yeah, feel free to drop an email with your requests and I'll put them through SurferSEO next week. And yeah, we will do this Q&A again next week. It might be a little bit different, might put it through a webinar just to see the difference on attendees and questions, and we will see. So I will see you next Friday. Bye.